hope you ain't lost it. I've only worn it once.
All right, don't do your nut. It's in here somewhere. Oh, we are. Look, it was in the Guide to Modern World Literature all the time.
Where'd you get that?
Dorian lent it to me.
Why?
Because I'd finished my new Jackie Collins.
My new Jackie Collins?
And somehow I felt unfulfilled, unlike most of the people in her books. So I asked Dorian, did she have anything a bit more challenging? She said, what did I fancy? I said I didn't really know, so she lent us this. It's got a bit of everything in it. Bit of Kafka, bit of Jean-Paul Sartre, bit of Kant.
Oh?
Kant. Yes, typical working-class attitude to anything on paper that ain't covered in salt and vinegar.
You can't be enjoying it.
No, not exactly. But it does broaden the mind. I mean, an education gives you something to talk about after, doesn't it? Something besides giz a fag or I bags the dry patch.
It don't matter what you read, you're still common, ain't you?
No, just honest. Being honest, I won't be needing this.
You can't do that. That's your visiting order.
I know. I've been carting it around in my bag for 3 weeks with no real intention of ever seeing Chris again.
But you can't just dump him. He's still your husband. You've got to stay with him through thick and thin. Take the rough with the smooth, share the ups and the downs.
The ins and the outs and the okies and the cokies.
Don't take the mix, Sharon. What about your marriage vows?
Trace, they were all in Greek. I mean, for all I know, I might have been agreeing to buy all 24 volumes of the Encyclopaedia Britannica. Anyway, I've been to see a brief. Dorian recommended one.
Dorian? You can find more in Dorian than you can find in me.
Look, I just asked her as a friend.
I'm your sister. Blood is meant to be thicker than water.
Yeah, well, there's thick, and there's thick. Oh, come on, Trace. I've apologised enough, haven't I? Blimey, I've eaten more dung than Mrs. Thatcher's entire cabinet.
Called thick, all right?
I told you. I didn't mean you were thick when I said you were thick. I just meant that you can be so blinkered. Just because you think marriage is the greatest invention since the pop-up toaster, don't mean I've got to stay with that useless ponce the rest of my life, does it? Blimey.
What?
I've just spotted this week's special offer. How comes I never come home with anything like that when I go shopping? She never stops, does she?
Oh, he's a bit of an unk, though, isn't he?
Tracy Stubbs. Go and wash your eyes out with soap and water.
Hi. So how's the reading going, Sharon?
Oh, not bad. That Lord Byron was a bit of a goer, weren't he?
Orange juices, then?
Oh, of course. Where are my manners?
Answers on a postcard, please.
Girls, this is Pat Edwards. Pat, this is, or rather these are, Tracy and Sharon, my next-door neighbours.
Pleased to meet you.
Pat and I have just been looking at houses together.
What? You don't mean...
No, she doesn't. I didn't know you were such a wind-up artist, Dorian. I'm just lodging with Marcus and Dorian for a couple of weeks until I can find some places to buy.
Pat's been working in Italy for 3 years.
You're Patsy Edwards, aren't you?
I'm afraid so.
Oh? Patsy Edwards! There was a big picture of him in the News of the World yesterday.
You don't mean...
No. Not the best hung paper hanger in Halifax.
Sharon?
No, Patsy Edwards, he was on the sports page. West Ham have just paid some Italian club nearly £1 million for him.
Nah. Wait till I tell my Darryl you've moved in next door. He's mad about West Ham.
Really? I can get you a couple of tickets to the next home game. You can be my guests.
I don't really think Darryl would be able to come to your next home game.
Or the one after that.
He's someone else's guest at the moment.
What, you see he plays on a Saturday?
All right. Who for?
Just an amateur side.
Yeah, Wormwood Scrubbers. This blouse of yours is a real pig to iron. All these frills.
Well, leave it if you can't do it.
Oh, I can do it. I just ate it, that's all. Anyway, why do we iron?
What?
Well, why do we? It's just a social convention that says clothes look better all smooth instead of all crumpled.
Ever since you started reading that book, you've been questioning everything. Why do we iron? Why do we clap when we like something and boo when we don't and not the other way round? Why are we here?
Oh, I figured out that one. Because Chigwell's a darn sight nicer than Edmonton Green.
Right, tell me how this sounds.
Do you mind? I'm trying to iron here.
Just listen. My darling Daryl.
Shakespeare couldn't have put it better.
Then I'll skip over the rest of the first page because it's about a dream I had about him the other night.
Oh, no, go on, tell us.
No.
Oh, go on.
Well, I'll iron a crease in your head in a minute.
All right, read us the rest then.
The other morning, it was so hot, the milk turned on the doorstep. I told Milky, and he changed it for a strawberry yoghurt. So that was all right.
You should have a column in Exchange Remark, Trace.
Then I go on to say that I really miss you, of course, and I'm dying to see you, only your visiting order hasn't arrived yet. I suppose it's in the post, unless you've gone off me. Joke. Then there's a bit more personal stuff.
You, told him about Dorian's lodger?
Patsy, I didn't think he'd be that interested.
What? Don't give me all that. Daryl's West End Potter, you said so yourself.
Yeah, but...
You fancy him, don't you?
No.
Oh, yes, you do.
No.
You've got the hots for him. I mean, so have I. Who wouldn't have? You love Patsy Edwards. You love Patsy Edwards.
That's a lie.
What are you getting the hump for, then? Yeah, you fancy him. You know you shouldn't, you don't want to, but you can't help yourself. And it's plunged you into a tumult, hasn't it?
A tumult?
Yes, a tumult. Hang on, I've read it somewhere. Yeah, tumult. A state of violent and confused emotion. Told ya? Tumult.
I preferred it when you was pig ignorant. Oh, postman.
3:30? Ooh, I never knew she had such a vivid imagination. Oh, hello.
Please, miss, can I have my ball back?
He was playing golf in Dorian's garden, knocked his ball over our edge.
Oh, so you want me to go and get it for you? Leave you two young things alone for a minute, eh?
She thinks she's funny.
It's all right, it'll wait. Tell the truth, I did it on purpose.
Why?
To get away from Dorian.
Oh, what's she done?
Well, she came into the bathroom this morning while I was taking a shower.
Could have been an innocent mistake.
Well, that's what I thought, until she tried to get in with me. Her excuse was she hadn't got her glasses on.
She don't wear glasses.
I know. I reckon Dorian's made more passes in the last 3 days than I got from the entire Inter Milan team in 3 seasons.
So what can we do for you?
Well, Marcus is away on business today. Won't be back till the small hours.
So you spotted Dorian going at her Barry White CDs with the old Mr. Sheen, did you?
Exactly.
Well, you need a bolt hole then.
Aye.
Stick around then. I don't mind.
Oh, she don't mind at all.
It's very reasonable here, isn't it?
Oh, that's because from 6 to 8:30 it's happy hour.
Yeah, someone can't tell the time.
It's funny, really, isn't it? You know, the whole idea of a happy hour being that time when you can get more sloshed for less dosh. It sort of throws a spotlight on our very concept of happiness.
A bit of a philosopher, aren't you?
Dorian lent her a book.
Tracy got the looks and I got the brains.
Thank you very much.
It's really strange being back in England after all this time.
Yeah, it must seem a bit of a letdown after the old Dolce Vita. I'd have thought a celebrity like you would be up at Stringfellows every night, getting into a barney with that blonde bloke who used to be on Coronation Street, but they killed him off and now no one can remember his name.
Quentin Crisp?
Yeah, that's the one.
What about mates? There must be loads of people you want to look at.
Not in London. All my friends are in Ireland or Milan or Sheffield Wednesday. I don't know anyone in London except for you two. And Marcus and Dorian, of course. Oh, Mr. Macari has been very nice.
Oh, he's the little bloke down the pizza place, isn't he?
Oh, he's a manager at West Ham.
Oh, he's got 2 jobs.
Oh,
She's winding you up, Patsy.
Oh, here we go. Mine's all right. I don't think much of yours, Trace.
It is. You are. I said he was. That's a fight you owe me. You sign this beer mat for us, Patsy? You'll have a straight back in the first division, won't you, Patsy?
I hope so.
Yes! Cheers, Patsy. Cheers, Pat.
Blimey, you may not know anyone, but they all know you, don't they?
Hello, Shell. How's it going?
All right.
Blimey. Patsy Edwards. I didn't know you knew Patsy Edwards. Ruth.
Oh, I'm full of surprises, I am.
Patsy Edwards. They'll never believe this down at depot. Get you a drink, Patsy.
Oh, no thanks. Got training tomorrow.
Girls?
Oh, I'll have another Miami Vice, Tom.
Who's he then?
Phil the plumber. I've always wanted to Phil the plumber.
I can't keep up with your love life. I think you and me are going to turn into a couple of gooseberries in a minute. She's got that look.
Fancy going for a walk, Tracy?
Only if you buy us a bag of chips.
You drive a hard bargain.
He didn't even try and kiss you or nothing.
No, he was a perfect gentleman.
Don't call that perfect. So what did you do?
We talked.
He didn't even try for a little bit of a feel.
Sharon, we aren't all animals. We just chatted about this and that.
And the other?
Do you know when he was a kid in Ireland, they didn't even have any shoes to wear? Sometimes there was nothing to eat but bread and marge, and then he was spotted.
Oh, I expect that'd be a vitamin deficiency.
I mean, he was spotted by a coach from Blackpool.
Better than being hit by a coach from Blackpool.
You want me to stop?
Sorry, go on.
So Patsy played for Blackpool for a couple of years, got transferred to Sheffield Wednesday, met a local girl, got married, but it didn't work out.
Blimey, he did open up to you, didn't he?
Yeah, I suppose we just found it easy to confide in each other.
So naturally you told him all about Daryl being in the nick and that?
No, I just told him that Daryl's away a lot.
Well, he'll take that as an invitation to try it on.
Oh, Patsy ain't like that, Shal.
Oh, of course he's like that. He's a man, isn't he?
He certainly is, but I'm in control and I feel great about it. For the first time since Daryl's been banged up, I've got a bit of a social life. I can go have a good-looking bloke, know he likes me, and nothing has to happen. We can just be friends.
So you'll tell Daryl about him then?
Oh, don't be stupid, he'll kill me.
I just hope you know what you're doing. So what happens next?
Nothing happens next. He's asked me to have dinner with him tomorrow night, but I think it's better if we keep it nice and platonic.
Nothing below the waist, you mean?
Postman!
What? What is it? What's the matter? Trace, talk to me. Has something happened to Daryl? Oh, he ain't been carved up, has he? Tracy, for God's sake!
Got someone else, Shal.
No. He's turned queer.
No, it's a woman.
They don't have women in the nick, Trace.
Outside. Her name's Juliet. God knows how long he's been knocking her off for.
What, and he's written to you to beg for your forgiveness?
No.
Well, can I see it then?
He must have put her letter in my envelope.
What?
Stupid sod must have been writing to both of us and got the envelopes mixed up. My darling Juliet, I miss you and the baby so much.
The baby? Nah, there's got to be some sort of explanation.
Oh, yeah, like what?
Well, I don't know. If you could just go and talk to him.
Well, I can't sodding talk to him. He ain't sent me a VO, has he? Probably sent it to this Juliet slag.
Now, hang on. She might not be a slag. She might not even know nothing about you.
Oh, shut up, Sharon. She's a slag.
But I just can't believe it. I mean, you and Daryl are so much in love.
Was.
So what are you going to do?
I'm going to use your visiting order.
Trace, they said Sharon was here.
I know. I had to use Sharon's visiting order.
Is she all right?
Yes.
Then why ain't she come? She ain't been all written for weeks. Didn't even send me a birthday card.
That's because she don't want to see you no more. But that ain't why I'm here.
But she's my wife. I miss her. I love her.
Yeah, I'm sure. Look, I ain't got much time. If one of the screws recognise me, they'll chuck us out.
Tell her she's got to give me another chance.
All right, now what's going on with Daryl and this Juliet?
Juliet? Oh, he's joined a prison drama group, is he?
You know what I mean. This birdie's got tucked away.
Tracy, God's truth, I don't know nothing. I ain't even seen Daryl for weeks. We're on different wings now.
Oh, don't give me that. Juliet's from before you were nicked. Some tart he's been knocking off. He's had a baby with her.
Daryl never had no bird I knew about.
Oh, you lying tosspot. You're all the same, you men, aren't you?
Trace!
Look, if you happen to run into Romeo, you can tell him his future ex-wife called while he was out.
Trace! Got a fag?
Are you sure Tracy wasn't making a play for Pat?
Oh, honest. They just had a good old rabbit about how he misses his wife and she misses Daryl.
Yes, but of course that was before Daryl's bombshell arrived, wasn't it, the poor girl?
I just can't believe it. I mean, what a way to find out.
Unless that's the way Tracy was meant to find out.
What? How can you deliberately do something you don't know you're doing?
Well, maybe Daryl wanted to tell her, didn't know how to, didn't have the courage to, so his unconscious told her for him.
Really? So if you misaddress the letter, it's never an accident?
So Freud contends.
Oh, that explains why I put the cheque for the gas in the envelope for the electric.
No, that's not Freud, it's fraud.
Well, did you speak to Chris?
Yeah, but he didn't say nothing. He knows, though. Kept trying to change the subject, talking any old rubbish like how much he misses you.
Tracy, if there's anything I can do to help.
There is. You can tell Pat I'm on for tomorrow night.
What?
Well, he asked me out for dinner. I wasn't sure, but now I am.
Oh, don't go mad, Tracy.
I know what I'm doing. When Daryl was sent down, I made a conscious decision, a vow to keep myself for him, to wait no matter what. He was my first and he'd be my last. Well, it hasn't been easy. We had a proper marriage.
You mean an active sex life?
Yes. The last few months have been really tough. I've been having these vivid, rude dreams about Daryl.
Can you remember any details?
And now it turns out he's been having rude dreams and all. Only they ain't been about me.
I should have known all along there was something wrong. I just never read between
If I come in,
the lines.
I ain't like you to knock.
Then
I'd like you to tie yourself up for a bloke, neither.
found you on your way.
This is new.
Yep, that's right.
My heart behind.
Are you wearing these stockings?
No, I'm gonna rob a bank with them later.
You'll regret all this, you know.
You reckon? This letter came while you were out late night shoplifting.
Do you mind? Darling Tracy, I'm so sorry about my last letter. I hope it didn't upset you too much.
Upset? Can you believe it?
Please use this visiting order soon and I'll explain everything.
What the hell is there to explain?
Oh, you've got to hear him out, Trace.
Why? It'll only be some pathetic pack of porkies about how he was working round this Juliet's house and she started plying him with drink and complimented him on his lovely little bum. Because he has got a lovely little bum.
No getting away from it.
And then she started undressing to reveal this unbelievably sexy black silk underwear.
I just hope you know what you're doing, Tracy.
I know exactly what I'm doing, Sharon. So don't come home too early tonight, eh?
That's a promise that I give to.
Chin chin. Or you later.
What's that?
Sambuca. And in the kitchen.
Did ya? You sure it's all right? My mum warned me about Irishmen setting light to things. When you asked me if I liked Thai food, I didn't think you was going to come over here and cook it for me.
Aye, well, it shows what a cheapskate I must be.
No, it's the best Italian I've ever had. Want to know something else? You've done something for me no other man has ever achieved.
Oh, really? What?
Got my cappuccino machine to work. Pat, you know what I told you about Daryl? About him being in Saudi Arabia, building the world's biggest conservatory?
Yes.
But it weren't exactly true. He's not abroad.
Tracy, Dorian's told me everything.
Oh, she's got a mouth on her like Blackwall Tunnel. Everything.
Everything.
What about him being in the Nick and all?
Yes. And about this other woman. I'm sorry, Tracy, you must be going through a really heavy time just now.
Yeah, you could say that.
Well, if you want me to change the subject, Mr. Macari's thinking of playing with a sweeper tomorrow.
When I told Dorian to tell you that I was on for tonight, I really wanted something to happen between us.
Crossed my mind, too. Look, Tracy, if you're thinking of going to bed with another fella just to spite your husband, I don't think it's such a good idea.
Not with another fella. With you, Pat. I really like you.
To lighten up the way
Nothing. I just thought I'd better go before it gets too late. Big match tomorrow. Can't let the boss down. Besides, I'm prone to groin strains.
What are we going to do, Pat?
I don't know.
Wish I had a mum.
Listen, Tracy, if you don't want to see me again, I'll understand. But in that case, do you fancy coming to Wolverhampton next Saturday?
Wolverhampton?
Aye, we're playing up there next week. Watch the match if you wanted to. And afterwards we can get a bite to eat, check into a hotel. I think they've got a hotel up there somewhere. Get to know each other better. What do you say?
Dirty weekend in Wolverhampton, eh? You really know how to turn a girl's head, you do.
It's funny, isn't it? I mean, 100 years ago, a great written writer like Oscar Wilde could be sent to jail and have his whole life destroyed just for being a woofter. Today, they'd probably have him filling in for Wogan when he's on his holidays.
So what?
Just makes you think, that's all.
Well, don't make me think.
Well, it should. It should make you think about the whole concept of prison. How it's first and foremost a form of social control. There's nothing really to do with crime and punishment at all.
Well, I'm sorry, but I don't agree. I think it's the ideal form of punishment. Darryl cheated on me, now he's locked up. Good.
Don't be so bloody vindictive, you. It's only sex, for God's sake. Look, you've got a lovely home, a kid you both adore. You could still have a marvellous future together when he gets out. And just because a man listened to his Willy Wonka instead of his conscience, for the first time in the history of the world, mind you, you want to chuck it all down the pen. In the words of Emily Jane Bronte, you're out your bleeding tree.
Hello, darling. Oh, you smell so good.
That's enough, Stubbs.
I've really missed you, Tracy.
Yeah?
What is it?
We got some serious talking to do, Darryl. Did you mean to send that letter, or was it just some horrible mistake?
Of course I meant to send it. At the time.
You what?
I realise now it was wrong. I mean, it must have been a lousy thing to have for your cornflakes.
I didn't want no cornflakes once I'd read it. I wanted to back it.
It's only a letter. I was very depressed. You've been depressed. I thought you'd understand. And it's not so easy to get tranks in here. Dope, heroin, crack, just nothing legal.
What's all this got to do with flushing our life together down the bog? How could you do it? Weren't we happy?
That's the point. It's because we was happy.
What are you talking about?
The probation officer reckons it's a very common reaction to a long sentence. You get sent down and you think to yourself, OK, I'll do my time, keep my nose clean. Bird's just an occupational hazard after all. But then, suddenly out of the blue, this huge great wave of self-pity, disgust, shame, it just crashes over you and you can't think, you can't get out of the way and you don't want to see no one, you don't want to talk to no one.
Darryl?
That's why I wrote to say I didn't want to see you. I just didn't want you seeing me in that state.
Look, what's all this got to do with this Juliet slag?
Who?
My darling Juliet, I miss you and the baby so much. Ah, it's your writing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's my writing, but it's not my letter. Look, prisoner Longstaff S, number 235331.
Oh, my God.
Why didn't you read it properly, you silly tart?
I couldn't, I was so upset. I put it straight in my bag. This is the first time I've looked at it since. Then why is it in your writing and why is it in my envelope?
It's in my writing because I wrote it for a mate who's so dyslexic he thinks he's in it for HBG. And it's in your envelope because some bastard screw on censor's duty thought it would be a laugh to switch letters.
Oh, Darryl, I'm so sorry.
You didn't think I had another bird tucked away, did you?
Well, I didn't know what to think.
Tracy, it was the thought of you and Garfy waiting for me that helped me struggle out of that pit of despair. Don't let me down now, darling, please, because so many prisoners' wives go off with other men.
So you've sorted out your little misunderstanding over that letter?
What?
I don't know how I could have got those letters mixed up. There I was, diligently working through the prisoner's mail. I suppose I might have been distracted by the sound of birdsong coming through my unbarred open window.
You piece of...
Shut it, Stubbs.
I'll get you!
No, you won't, because if I even catch you thinking about it, I'll have you on punishment before you can say my wife's a slag. You can't lay a finger on me, Stubbs.
That Stubbs can't. But this Stubbs can. Now your wife can go without for a bit. See how she likes it.
Blimey, what are you doing here?
Never mind me. What are you doing here?
Well, I got so bored waiting for you. I thought I'd indulge in a spot of political agitation.
Oh, no, Shal. Now what have you done?
Man is born free, and everywhere he is in chains. Jean-Jacques Rousseau.
Jean-Jacques Rousseau.
Oh, it don't matter how you say it. You still can't go around writing lines from the Pink Panther.
Rousseau. Not Clouseau, you silly tart.
Who are you calling a tart?
Have you ever read a book, Tracy?
I've read plenty, thank you very much, Sharon.
I mean, apart from an Argos
Oh, I
catalogue.
preferred it when you read your Jilly Coopers.
I suppose Henry Cooper's more in your line.
And what's that supposed to be?
What'll I do when you are far away and I am blue? What'll I do when I'm alone with only dreams of you that won't come true? What'll I do?